I'm Reverend Phil, and I'm your host for Words of the Prophets. Where are our prophets now? Where are those messengers God chooses to communicate divine revelation through? In the past, the Creator sent prophets like Abraham, Siddhartha, Jesus, Muhammad, and many more. Maybe our higher power has switched tactics since we reinterpret God's words as soon as the Creator's prophets leave us. Could it be that Spirit talks to each one of us individually and we haven't learned to listen? On Words of the Prophets, our modern prophets show us how to find the internal prophet that is the I Am, and we discuss the application of spiritual principles in all aspects of our lives.
Love and light, everybody. I'm Reverend Phil, and I'm your host for Words of the Prophets. Today we have an extra special guest for you. My guest is Baba Shivarudra Balayogi. Did I do that right?
Yes.
I get so bad with names. Uh, welcome.
Thank
so glad
you.
to have you. Today's show is going to be a real special show, and I want to get you all prepared for this. First off, we're going to do a little teaching in the middle of the show on some meditation. Bob is going to do a little technique. We have a few people here who are students of Baba's who are going to join us on set, and Bob is going to initiate them and do an introduction and guide them and guide you as well. So you may want to get prepared, get yourself comfortable, get ready to do a meditation. You'll have enough notice to know when it's going to happen, but this is one of those things that we do on live TV or TV, which is it's visual. We can do that stuff. The other thing I want to just, and I've talked about this in the past. A lot of people come through Santa Fe, and they all carry messages. And I've had people on my show who carry a variety of messages, and I believe in all of them. I believe that there's really infinite ways to get to the ultimate destination. But the thing that is really special about Baba and about this show is that most people, when they come to town, they charge you these outrageous amounts of money to teach you a technique. And it has been my path that all of my teachers, excuse me, have been, people who give it away. That's what God is here for. Give us these gifts to teach is to give it away. It's not to be a business. It's not to be an industry. And there's going to be a teaching here in Santa Fe on Sunday, June 6th at 4 o'clock at La Puerta de Luna, which is 546 Harkle Road. And if you need any information about how to get there, you can contact me. My contact information will be flashing on the screen. Also, Baba's information, which is a website for Baba, which is not just Santa Fe, but the worldwide network, so to speak, will be flashing on the screen. And there's a lot of great information up there, so make use of it. So let me get into the prophetic topic, and then we're going to let Baba do some talking so my voice doesn't just crack all the way. Today's prophetic topic is supreme peace and permanent happiness realized. And this topic comes from a teaching of Baba's. The complete statement reads as follows: You have forgotten your real self. You are that abode of supreme peace. Through meditation, devotion, selfless service, this illusory ego can be removed and your true immortal nature of supreme peace and permanent happiness realized. And that's a very powerful statement, and we're going to get into that. But let me keep quiet. Baba, it's all yours.
Well, I'd like to recite a shloka to convey my prostrations to my beloved Guru, Shiva Balayogi, and then I will talk a few words about my path and how I came into this path. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvam Dvatitam Gagana Sadrusham तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यं एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वाधि साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं त्वं नमामि. Offering my unconditional surrender and prostrations with deep love and reverence at the lotus feet of my beloved Master Shiva Balayogi, I thank you very much, Reverend Phil, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to talk about my experiences, and also the path that I took. My Master has graced it upon me. It was a childhood attraction towards the truth that made me to go for this spiritual path. I heard a beautiful song of a saint sing the glory of God, because when death happens to your physical body, none of your worldly wealth, health or power can come to your rescue. This made me a bit obsessed with the thought of death. Are we going to be born with this physical body, and when this dies, are we going to become extinct, or are we going to exist in some other form? What is the nature of our own existence? I must know. And also at the age of 8 or 9, these thoughts used to come. If we have happiness, we must have it all the 24 hours and 12 months. Why is there a fluctuation of agony, sometimes peace, sometimes happiness, unhappiness? Is there something wrong in my mind, or is there something wrong in this world? I used to wonder. So, and also I used to feel, why is that humanity always against each other? Why can't they live for each other? So these were the thoughts which induced me to go towards the path of spirituality, to know the truths. That was how I came into the spiritual path. Initially, I was influenced by the great teachings of some of the spiritual giants that India has produced, like Adi Shankaracharya and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Sri Ramana Maharishi. This led me to the thought that if I can found such a guru who would have liberated himself and who can lead me towards liberation. So finally, when I was in the University of Mysore, that was when I happened to meet my Guru Shiva Balayogi, and instantly I had fallen in love with him, and I joined his ashram. So that was how I came into this path.
There is so much that you said that I'd like to explore. All those questions you had, did you get the answers?
Yes, eventually.
Would
Afterwards.
you share some of those answers with us?
Certainly. The constant cravings and distractions of the mind is the basic reason why unhappiness, stress, tension and fear all happens. If we can bring this mind to a peaceful presence, that is the most important thing. Otherwise, you see, the mind is either brooding about the past or is anxious about the future. It is seldom into the present. So because of this, it loses its peace and goes into a stress. If we practice the meditation, it would be possible to bring this mind to the neutralizing effect of the presence and achieve the supreme peace once for all. Supreme means above that there shall not be any other happiness or peace, any other thing which can give you happiness or peace. So that is the supreme peace I mean. Also it must be permanent, not that today we have peace, 2 hours later we don't have that peace. It is always there, whatever the condition, whatever the situation, whatever the circumstances. So this is what one is possible to achieve through the practice of meditation.
When you talk about supreme peace, is there a connection to some form of supreme entity?
Definitely. This is what the spirituality alerts. A certain thing which itself is impermanent, like the entire universe. The subject matter, including your own physical body, how can it give a permanent peace when it itself is impermanent? So you need to go to that entity which is eternal, which is immortal. Only then a permanent peace would be possible. This is what I visualized when I was a child.
Is this supreme entity part of everything? Is everything a part of that supreme entity?
Definitely. This is what I experienced in my tapas, that one single self that exists, which is recognized as the divinity all pervaded, is the supreme consciousness. Basic clue for this is our own mind. See, mind is so infinite, you cannot show it to anybody like this is my mind, this is the color. Simply based on the thoughts, you recognize that my mind wants to do this, my mind wants to go there. It is made up of consciousness and energy. Conscious means wherever you apply, you become aware of that. The ultimate source of the truth of this mind is recognized as the divinity, which is supreme unified one consciousness, the supreme unified energy. They both are inseparable.
Let me ask you about the mind then. Is the purpose of meditation to train the mind or to overcome the programming that's in the mind, or both?
It's both. From the worldly point of view, if you see, the mind is a bundle of thoughts. As long as thoughts and visual effects are there in the mind is always preoccupied with those thoughts and all those images that are in the mind. So it is unable to be aware of its real self, what it is. Just like when you are watching a movie, if your mind gets sucked into it, you become preoccupied with the movie and you start visualizing yourself as a role in the movie. All the good, bad, everything appears to be happening to you, and you become unaware that you are simply sitting and watching like this. The idea of meditation is to bring the mind to a concentrated position when it would have given up all its imaginations and all its thought process, visualizing effects. Then what remains is the pure consciousness. That is when you can become aware of your real self.
So this is an intentional design, so to speak.
Exactly.
Why do we have to go through all that to get there? Why don't we just have it?
Knowingly or unknowingly, everybody in this world is looking for peace and happiness. Whatever they want to do it with the idea of getting a peace and happiness only. As I said in the beginning, if a certain thing is not permanent, when we go for that thinking that such a thing is going to give us happiness, it is not going to give us permanent happiness. As long as it is there, it will give us. If somebody else snatches it, we are going to lose that peace and happiness. Just like as long as this body is going to be healthier and is alive, we are going to be happy. If death is going to snatch it, we might become unhappy by the very thought of it. That is why it is recommended to go for that ultimate truth, that is the self-ease.
And to get to that ultimate truth, you talked about having a guru. This is not a self-guided journey. You have to have somebody who's walked the path ahead of you to guide you how to get there.
Yeah, a guru is always recommended because the guru acts like a torchbearer. He'll be like a mother to the just born baby. Ignorance, many people try to visualize that ignorance is blissful, but it can be disastrous also. If you are going in the dark, suddenly if you stumble upon a dangerous thing, you can be hurting yourself and you can be making others also to get hurt. To obtain the proper knowledge of the path, the technical methods, what you have to adopt to obtain that right peace, that highest peace, that supreme peace, you need a guru. The very meaning of guru is the one who dispels the darkness of ignorance.
Yeah. That's two Sanskrit words, darkness remover, gu and ru.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, exactly.
How does that relationship work? Do you choose the guru? Does the guru choose you? Is it mutual? Do you feel it was predestined? I know, a lot of questions all at once.
Everything, it could be a combination of everything. First important is the student needs to be genuine, should be a genuine spiritual seeker, want to know the highest. Just like I visualize, if I'm going to have that peace and happiness, I must have the highest and a permanent. That was the visualization. So I want that liberation from birth and death, from unhappiness, from stress, every way. So I would like to have such a guru who would have liberated himself from all these bondages and who can lead me to such a liberation. So this visualization is important. Then when you pray to God, this was what my experience, and then the guru comes in your life. Definitely you will be guided to a guru. Your efforts and the guru's grace both works here. Just like the broadcasting is also important, a receiver also is equally important. The power of broadcasting on the television is important, and the receiver set also is equally important. That's how the destiny works. So the guru and disciple come together.
So do you feel like this was a predetermined arrangement between the two of you?
I do feel that's what I experienced.
So as soon as you met this person, you just knew it?
Yes. I felt that from inside. I have found him. This is it. This is it. This person has the thing which I have always wanted.
And is that hold true for all people who enter in this relationship? It's that really gut level, heart level, intuitive sense that this is the person?
Yes, I have felt with my students also becoming suddenly attached and unknown to them. Many hundreds have come and met me. Not all of them have become attached, but many of them have become attached so much and have developed such a devotion and want to learn everything when they have been wanting the things that I teach. So that's how a relationship builds up. And I definitely feel that this is for everyone. But first important, student has to be genuine spiritual seeker.
Yes, that definitely would matter. Is there a prescribed course of teaching, or do you teach each student differently?
I just talk generally. I teach everyone unbiased, whoever is interested, to the masses, to serve a group of devotees, a group of students, anyone. It is the technology, and I try to inspire them, motivate them. And what I do is another thing, I encourage them to ask questions. This enables me to know the temperament of different students and what exactly they want to know, where they are feeling confused, where they have doubts. So then I'm able to clear such doubts and clarify all the things to them and encourage and motivate them to go on the path.
So the student's relationship with you, it's not just blind obedience. They're encouraged to ask questions, to question things, to even doubt some things until they get an understanding.
Yeah, definitely. Though a reverence to the guru is always recommended, because humans are likely to become casual in approach, not respectful in approach. If you have a reverence to a guru, you will take the thing seriously and you will get into the practice. This is one thing. However, in the legacy of my guru, like my guru Shiva Balayogi also, when he initiated devotees into meditation, he never claimed himself to be a guru. He used to tell, as a friend I am giving this technique. If you feel this worthwhile and if you want to know more about this, then it will be my duty to help. The same thing I am continuing. So that's why I encourage students. I never demand that I am going to impose myself as a guru. You will have to be obedient. You will have to be accept me only. Instead of that, I ask you, ask questions until you don't get cleared of everything. Don't give up. Never keep feeling shy or hesitate, because my guru said ignorance is not a curse. Ego is the real curse. So as long as you want to know, it is always wonderful. That's how I encourage devotees.
You mentioned ego. So in the belief structure that you teach and work with, it sounds like it starts with a sense of duality to get to a place of non-duality.
Here in spirituality, ego means the thought that has appeared in the mind has made the mind to forget of the reality of the non-duality, that one single all-pervaded supreme consciousness exists, because the mind has come into existence with imagination. So every thought of the mind is considered as an ego, which has stopped this mind to be aware of the real self.
So the mind is answerable to whatever is in power, so to speak. It could be the emotions, it could be the physical, or it could be the spiritual. What gives it the lead? Is that what I'm hearing?
It can be imagining anything. It has a quality to imagine, whereas the imagination, analyzation, and judgment qualities could be very important to live in this world. But if you need to go back to the self, the real existence, you need to give up these things. That's what precisely you are trying to do in meditation. This is very important.
How does meditation do that?
When you close the eyes, the mind, which would have acquired habits since time immemorial. Acquired habits means the mind has a technology. When it watches a certain thing, it recognizes the existence of that object. Then it analyzes what it is. This is good, this is bad, this is it, this is not mine. So in that process, it makes a judgment also. Then it would have absorbed an imprint. This sits in the subconscious state, which always troubles, giving rise into thought after thought, millions and billions of thoughts, and thus distracting the mind. It splits the mind's layers, and the mind loses its focused concentration of its own awareness. So that is what has happened. So when meditation is being practiced, this mind getting applied on the brain, all the acquired habits starts getting cleansed and evaporated. So that is how the mind would be able to give up its acquired habits of all the time constantly imagining. You see, even if you want to stop your mind for a fraction of a moment also, it would not be possible. All the time the mind is visualizing something, thinking of something. Very often it jumps into worries. So this is what the meditation would be able to stop when it cleanses. Meditation is a cleansing process of the acquired habits of the mind.
Is it cleansing by connection, or is it cleansing by technique?
It's both. The cleansing starts by technique, and then it gets connected to its origin.
So the ultimate goal of meditation is basically to connect with whatever the individual believes is that supreme entity.
Yes, precisely to talk spirituality and meditation is so that you connect to yourself, your real self.
So the focus is inward instead of outward.
It is inward, going within, because if it is outward, it is always into imagination. The mind has no third way. Either it is always in the university, wandering like a monkey with imaginations, or when it gives up all imagination, it becomes concentrated and going introvert. That is when you become aware of yourself. As I told, mind is the consciousness and energy. Wherever you apply, you become aware of it. If you are applying on the world, you are aware of the existence of this world, you become too preoccupied. You have forgotten, you are unable to be aware of yourself. So if you apply it introverted, you can become aware of yourself.
So how long did it take you to become proficient in this technique?
For a long time I was practicing several hours. After I joined my Guru Shiva Balayogi in 1974, for 20 years I had the opportunity to serve at his lotus feet. That's when he trained me to lose the ego, give up the ego. He always emphasized ego is the biggest hurdle for any progress. Means the learning process should not be stopped. We should never feel that ego or arrogant that we know everything. We should be ready to learn from anywhere, from any quarter, which can enhance our personality in such a way that we come closer and closer to the truth. That's how he trained me to serve in the ashram, to look after all such mentally challenged people and to serve any human being, to overcome our emotions of extreme greed or anger, all such things he trained. 20 years I had this beautiful chance to be with him. He was like a parent for me, a mother, a father, and a guru, my God. Everything he trained, he looked after so affectionately, caringly. He was uncompromising like a father and like a master. He was tough from outside, from inside. He was so loving and caring. That's how I got the opportunity. In those days, also I meditated for 6 to 7 hours after attending to the monastery's duties of cleansing and everything. And finally, when he dropped his physical body in 1994, through a vision he appeared and made me to sit for 5 years of tapas in a room in our monastery. That's where I live in Dehradun, which is 250 kilometers north of Delhi, which is the capital of India. So that's where I am based, where my guru had established an ashram there. So after this 5 years only, I completed my tapas and became aware of the truth totally.
How, in those 5 years, were you in that room 24 hours a day?
Yes, all the 24 hours. 5 years I did not come out of the room. I was meditating for 18 to 20 hours in a stretch. I was coming out of that meditation for about 4 to 5 hours to have a little bit of liquid food that I could digest and do a little bit of exercise to keep the stiffened body proper and massaged, and used to have a bath and take some half an hour rest, then used to go back to the meditation again.
Was this a dark room?
It was.
One of my teachers had always told me that spirituality grows in the dark, and that's the only place that you need to shut off the senses in order to get to that place that you're talking about. Would that be accurate?
Probably, because that's my experience too. That's why I kept the lights totally dark. Only once in 24 hours, some attendants who served me, like Rekha, who is here today, a little later she will come when we'll demonstrate the meditation, and she and a couple of others looked after my physical body. They used to enter my room once in 24 hours. At that time a dim light used to be put on. All other time I used to be in total darkness. We had put black curtains also in the room so that no sunlight came. So all the idea was to keep the mind as introvert as possible.
Can you explain that experience?
It's
Can you put it into words and a visualization in any way? I mean, that just sounds so wonderful.
Though it's very inexplicable, if you ever had enjoyed a stillness of the mind, giving such supreme peace, such serenity, such composure in that mind, the ever peace-wanting mind, that was the experience. That was all I had wanted since childhood, the supreme peace and serenity. That was so beautiful, so amazing. I always felt, and afterwards also now in my teaching, that's how what I experienced at that time is your own existence is the greatest wonder. The greatest and highest miracle is when you would have achieved peace for yourself. So I would term it as the greatest wonder of my own existence, and the highest miracle of supreme peace is what I experienced.
I got so many questions I want to ask. But this is a perfect lead-in. Do you want to do the little meditation technique now?
Yeah, I can do. So I would invite my students who are already practicing to demonstrate a little more.
This is the
Please,
first time we've had an audience.
All of you, one by one, come
on
and
in.
take the vibhuti, my blessings in between eyebrows, and just then sit here, please. Come. Just sit here.
Now, when you're doing that,
Yes.
are you, in sense, opening the third eye?
That automatically happens of a vibrations get transferred from a yogi, because the yogi's consciousness is always one with the divinity, that is the supreme consciousness. So when a yogi invokes the blessings of the master, such a guru, and such vibrations get transferred, that is what becomes the initiation, we call it.
And does this initiation have to happen regularly, or just happen to happen once, or?
If it happens once for a student is enough. It doesn't have to be regularly. But even if they have had once, if I am doing in a class and I am giving it to others, everybody else also can come if the time available, if they feel like rejuvenating themselves with one more blessings from me.
Okay. I won't interrupt. You're going to give some instruction, and they're going to practice for a couple of minutes. And this is where you, the audience watching us, get yourself comfortable, sit on the floor, sit in a chair, find the place you're comfortable, allow yourself to relax, and just take the direction being given. And I'll keep quiet.
So, first now we'll be doing a couple of breathing and exercises. These breathing exercises are known as pranayama, which will enhance your focus, concentration power in meditation also. If you ever feel very restless in life, take a couple of minutes, sit down and take a long inhale and slow exhale of the breath. So slowly you will see that the restlessness of the mind is brought down to a relaxation position. That's what preciously these breathing exercises will be helpful to you. This is a very simple exercise. The first one is known as Anuloma Viloma, also as Nadi Shodhan, cleansing of the system. In this, when I count the numbers with the right thumb, you press the right nostril and inhale through the left nostril and hold the breath by closing both the nostrils. Use the third finger to close both the nostrils. And then hold the breath as long as I count it, and then breathe out through the right nostril by releasing the thumb. Again, inhale through the right nostril, hold the breath and breathe out through the left nostril. So that is the method. All of you ready? Now I will count. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the method, hands back to normal position. Before meditation, if you do this a couple of minutes, which is enough, this should be done in a relaxed way, never should be done in a rush, no hurry, so that the mind comes to a relaxed position. If it is possible to do in the midst of greeneries, which gives out the best oxygen, then all your body cavities would be able to absorb the best quality oxygen when you inhale slowly and hold the breath, and then breathe out the carbon dioxide thoroughly. So that is when you will feel mentally also relaxed, and your physical health also improves in a much better way, giving the better health for the brain, your nervous system, your heart, your hypertension, everything can be brought down considerably. The second exercise is known as Bhramari Pranayam, because when you close both the nose and make a sound through the mouth like chanting Om, it comes out like a bee making sound. In that name, this has been named as the bee sound breathing exercise, Bhramari Pranayama. So your four fingers shall be above the eyebrows. Lock the head by pressing both the thumbs behind ears, and let the central fingers on either side of the nostrils. You shall inhale through both the nostrils, hold the breath by closing both the nostrils thoroughly, keeping both the nostrils thoroughly closed Breathe out by chanting Om through the mouth. O is longer, ending with Just observe me particularly how I will do this once. It can be either the Om sound or any sound that appeals to you. There is no imposition of any one particular mantra type of sound. So just now, all of you ready? I will count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, chanting Om. When you come to the sound of release the nostrils to feel comfortable to inhale again. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, chanting Om. Hands back to normal positions. All of you, please close the eyes and pay attention for the initiation instructions. Keeping the eyes closed, concentrate your mind and sight in between eyebrows and just keep watching there by focusing the attention. Do not repeat any mantra or any name. Do not imagine anything. If thoughts or visions come, just watch and observe them. Do not think what it is. Do not open your eyes until I recite a shloka and will ask you to open the eyes. अनेक जन्म संप्राप्त कर्म बंध विदाहिने आत्मज्ञानाग्निदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. All of you can slowly open your eyes. This is the demonstration for a minute. My Guru insisted that one needs to practice this meditation at least for 1 hour every day, because the first 30-40 minutes the mind would be struggling to come back and it would be running and you are trying to bring it back. Then the final 10 minutes it will warm up and cool down and remains composed. That's how you have to practice every day. This initiation was obtained my Guru when he was at the age of 14 by the divine manifestation Lord Shiva as a Jangama sage, when he was trying to squeeze out the juice from a fruit on the 7th day of August in 1949, preciously about 61 years ago. Then he was initiated into this technique of meditation, which he did continuously for 12 years. After achieving the self-realization, He taught this meditation traveling throughout the country of India, Sri Lanka, Europe and America free of charge. He tried to bring this meditation to every doorstep. He was unbiased. He taught us that all religions are equal and honorable. Humanity need to live for each other, consider about each other, love and honor each other. These are the moral values he taught us always. This is what we always try to teach. If you regularly practice, you will come across numerous experiences, and if any one of you would like to talk your experience, you have been meditating, Rekha, would you like to talk a few points? What has been your experience about this meditation?
Yes, Babaji. I met Babaji around 20 years back, and I feel means my life is totally changed since I met him, and I feel like I'm very peaceful within, and very happy and very content, and whatever comes in the life, the mind takes it very easily, and means everything comes very easy and very, very peacefully, and I feel I'm very, very much focused and happy just by myself.
Meditation keeps you centered in the moment.
Yes,
That's the only place where peace really exists.
yes,
Yes. That's how you can achieve contentment also. Contentment is the rarest thing for humans to achieve. My master used to tell jokingly, if you are contented, you are like an emperor. If you have desires, you are the poorest of poor.
Mm-hmm. I was watching everybody meditate. So you focused in on a breathing technique, which my best understanding is it's about getting the left and right brain hemispheres in alignment. Would that be accurate?
The technique that we teach is you are using the eyesight to concentrate in between eyebrows. In this technique, you are trying to give the mind to become quiet on its own without any external anchor. You are not concentrating on the breath also. You are just concentrating in between eyebrows. The eyes, when they are concentrating, they are not watching anything. Simply the mind is watching itself, and slowly it becomes quiet. That is the
Becomes
technique.
part of the emptiness. I was talking more about the alternating breathing through the nostrils in the preparation.
Yes, in the preparation, that's what it helps. It neutralizes and balances the chemical reactions of the brain. That's how giving a relaxation to the mind also.
And as I was watching, I mean, we have 7 people sitting here meditating. There were a variety of different places people put their hands, how they had their feet, so most of that is really not that important. It's what you do with the mind, and it's not so much
Exactly.
how I have my hands or I don't have my hands or any of that stuff.
Exactly. My guru never prescribed any particular posture. You can sit on a chair and do it. You can sit on the ground and do it. In whatever posture that is comfortable for you, you can do it. I try to advise, just try to keep the back and neck straight, so that for a long time you don't develop any cervical or spondylitis problems. Other than that, there is no such posture. Hands can be in any position, legs can be in any position. It's all the mind. You can be sitting on anything. So simply the mind needs to be controlled.
Okay. I want to go back to a little bit on this, on the origins, Baba. What I'm hearing from you is, to me, I make a distinction between Himalayan, I call it science as opposed to anything else, and Hinduism. I sense much more Himalayan than I do Hinduism. Can you talk about the origins of the technique and what you practice and teach?
This is coming from a very, very ancient time, immemorial. The technique that my guru taught is one of the highest techniques practiced by those great sages. In those days, they taught this as a way of life. There was no mention of any isms or any religions, any groups. Simply they called it as the ancient way of life, Sanatana Dharma. Dharma means your duty towards your own physical health, your mental health and moral health. That's what we emphasize always. This is how this was practiced since ancient times as a way of life. Since our childhood also, we were taught these things as a way of life. Just like after you get up, you have a shower, have some breakfast and go to your job to earn your livelihood. So we used to get up, we used to have a shower and get into the job of some chants, some meditations, remembering God, some prayers. That's how we were brought up. So I would definitely like to call it a science in itself. Science means a systematic approach you undertake, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel that you experience.
You talked about a way of life. Spirituality is more than just a practice, it's a way of life.
Yes, exactly.
So it's about making that connection and then demonstrating what that connection means.
Exactly.
How do you deal with people who come to you who are so caught up in the material world? You know, I've got 3 kids, I've got to get a job, I got to be there, I got to work 16 hours, I don't get a day off, I don't have time to do an hour. Maybe I could fit in 10 minutes, you know, if the kids aren't screaming and yelling. How do you adapt what you're teaching at least at the beginning level?
First, I try to teach them 3 important mantras. One is dedication, another is discipline, and the third one is patience. If you are dedicated, you will set priority and take out time. You have 24 hours. Time is not available in any shopping complex. You have to take. If you want to give excuse, you can be giving 101 excuses. Or if you tell that, I must be here, I need this one, just like you know that you need to earn a livelihood to sustain your physical body, and you will definitely go out of way and give excuse to every other thing. I have a job, I need to go. The same way, if you understand that this meditation is for your own mental health, your own peace and your own character and culture, your own personality development, everything, that you can live a beautiful stress-free life, you can live a fearless life, you can become aware of your own secure existence. All these are all connected to you only. We have always thought since childhood, what is the meaning of all these spiritual exercises or religions? Why these things were given to us by our forefathers or the ancient people or the founders? What is the real meaning? So what I came out through my experience, it is a phenomena where various exercises are prescribed so that you can try to keep your physical health as much as possible. Using this physical body, you have to keep your own mind, that is your conscious energy, under control of yourself, and then uphold the moral values. Thus, physical health, mental health and moral health, if you practice these things, you will be able to uphold. So if you understand these things, it will be better. Though my guru insisted for 1 hour meditation, now I tell that something is better than nothing. Begin with 10 minutes also is fine. Slowly, as you find the taste, you might increase, you might like to increase. As you go on doing, you might do more, like when you understand that you are going to get peace and you are going to achieve things.
I want to pursue that. We're getting down towards the end. I want to make a couple of announcements, then we'll come back, a little more discussion.
Yeah.
First announcement I want to make here is, those of you who've been watching, I mean, we've got an excellent opportunity to learn. You know, you've just gotten like the appetizer taste watching the show. The full course is going to be happening on Sunday, this Sunday, June 6th at 4 o'clock at La Puerta de Luna, which is 546 Harkle Road. It's going to be a more enhanced discussion on the meditation, more questions and answers. It is free. Any donations are appreciated, but it is free. So don't let don't let monetary things get in your way. Show up. This is a unique opportunity. Do not miss it. There is also happening Friday, June 4th in Albuquerque. I'm not going to give out that information because we don't reach Albuquerque. But if anybody is interested, contact me by my phone number or my email. I'll be happy to tell you where that is and how to get a hold of somebody to find out what that's all about. It's going to be the same, just teaching in Albuquerque on Friday and then Sunday here in Santa Fe. Couple other quick announcements. Our friends of Unity Santa Fe, which is 1212 Unity Way, which is off the 599 relief route. They always have things going on up there, and this month they'd like me to announce that Friday, June 11th at 7 o'clock is a poetry slam. Poetry is meant to be read out loud. If you have original writings you would like to share, or if you wish to cheer on those whose work will be unveiled, please join. For more information or to sign up, contact them at either 689-2676, that's Connie, or Sparrow at 989-4433. Love offering is accepted. And then on following Friday, the 18th, also at 7 o'clock, is a spiritual cinema. The title of the movie is Infinity, The Ultimate Trip. This film asks what happens after we die, with amazing accounts of near-death experiences, reincarnation, and interaction with angelic beings and beautiful visuals. Infinity is about infinite nature and the beauty beyond. Learn of the energetic landscape of the world entered upon death, angels who assist us, and the promise of a new life. Again, there is a suggested love offering. We cannot mention it on the air. For more information, call 505-989-3643. Just quickly, and we'll get back to some parting thoughts, but those who know me, I am a spiritual counselor. Anybody interested in dealing with life in the spiritual terms as opposed to the traditional therapeutic model, feel free to contact me. I'm a licensed alcohol drug abuse counselor as well as a minister, and I combine the two of them, but the emphasis is on the spirit. Without a spiritual component, we do not heal. We do not fix the problem with the same instrument creating the problem. So if you think I could be of help, feel free to contact me. My information will be appearing, and it will be at the end of the closing credits. I do not charge for my services. I'm on a donation basis only, so don't let money become an issue. And we're here same time every week, so tune us in, and hopefully you would become a regular. Okay, we're back. Enough of the announcements.
Wonderful.
Yeah, really. I've got so many questions in so little time, I don't know where to start. Let's talk about, you talked about initially the mantra Om coming out at the end of the breathing. But then you said any mantra would work. Why is that?
Because my guru was a very unique teacher. He respected all religions as equal and honorable. He never wanted to be called a religious teacher because he said, we are for the entire humanity, we are yogis, all are same for us, there is no difference. Sometimes if we use a certain mantra, some people could be skeptical whether we are trying to give any religious doctrine. Because in our programs we always tell that to practice this meditation you don't have to commit to any particular faith. So you can just come, if you have interest, you can practice this meditation. There is no other conditions put. So that's why in this TV show I thought if we teach this as the Om, some people might feel offended that I am trying to teach a particular religious doctrine. That's why I said it can be Om or any such sound. The idea is simply the breath has to be exhaled slowly. That's what it is. So you overcome all the chest congestion. That's what needs to be done. That can be done either by chanting Om or just by chanting Oo. That's it.
I want to go back on your 5 years in that room for meditation. At any point, did you feel like you had contacted or connected with the Supreme Entity?
My guru used to appear to me in a vision and guide me every month. And in the end of as we were going on, the experience is that the mind manifests everything that it would have imagined, and then that manifestation disappears, then it goes introvert. That's when eventually one day we become aware, okay, that is how I experience that God is one, and that supreme divinity is experienced in the deeper state called the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Samadhi is when the mind totally becomes standstill, abandoning all its cravings, effortlessly going introverted, settles into that truth and becoming aware of the truth, and is always contented in that. So that's how I become aware of that supreme existence of the divinity through this tapas.
Are you in constant contact with your guru?
Yes, I am totally guided by my guru all the time, and he inspires me. I feel that he is within me, and I see that I am within him.
Is his journey, is your journey finished, or is he coming back? Are you coming back?
He has become one with the divine. He is all pervaded. There is no such thing that he has to come back through a physical body. Anybody with total faith and devotion who want to remember in his name like Shiva Balayogi, they will be blessed and graced upon, because he has become one with the divine. The same divine can manifest in that form and grace upon you. This is what I experienced immediately after his dropping of the physical body in 1994. For a while I felt void. I had become so much attached that we gave him a bath, we gave him food, and we gave him a shower, we gave him an oil massage, everything. That body is gone. But then he appeared, he manifested, and then made me to sit for tapas. He was a very tough trainer. Just like, for example, when he made me to sit for tapas, the words that I heard, I was going introvert. Either you come out of this room as a yogi, or your dead body must come out. Means not that I had to die. It was giving a tough inner strength to face the challenges of such thing. Never abandon the practice. Hang on to it until you don't achieve it, till the last breath of life. It's worthwhile. That's how he trained us. So I always saw him manifesting and guiding me. So he is always there. He doesn't have to come through a physical body. Whoever can remember him with total faith and devotion, they can have the experience of him within themselves.
I want to keep going, but I can't. They're waving at me and telling me we've run out of time. Baba, I thank you so much. It is such a blessing to have you. Thank you all for participating. I want to thank you, the watching audience. When you see this, you will have time to make it on Sunday. Remember, Sunday, June 6th at 546 Harkle Road. Questions, contact me. Be happy to tell you how to get there and answer questions I can. Make sure you get there Sunday. Keep tuning in. This is what the show is about. How do we grow spiritually? So until next week, blessings to you all. You are divine. Demonstrate it. Show it. It becomes contagious. I'm Reverend Phil, and I've been your host for Words of the Prophets. Thank you for tuning in. Please join me again next week, same time, same channel, for more Words of the Prophets.